Okay, here we have the homemade lathe that I've made. Now before we go any further, I just want to say that you do this part at your own risk. This lathe I've made hasn't gone through months of vigorous testing. Today will be the first attempt. Now remember not to wear any loose clothing that could get caught up in the dummy body as it turns, and that you are responsible for your own safety. Right, now to make the body you'll need 3 times 300mm strips of MDF, which makes up the sides, the bottom and the other side. You can use MDF or ply or whatever else you wish to use, but I would strongly recommend that you use nothing too thin, and a few lengths of roofing batten to strengthen up the carcass, as we sort of see in now. Sort of see where I've strengthened it up a little bit. I don't want this sort of all falling to bits when I start it up. And this sort of base I've made for the lathe, I've put a couple of battens either side, nothing too tight. I want a little bit of play with it as it sort of moves along, and you sort of see now I'll put another little bit in there as well to just sort of like strengthen the top up as it goes around really. Yeah, so the sort of plan is really just to I'm going to have to use waiting for someone to sort of come back home really, so I can get in to operate the actual mechanical part of it, or the turning part. Well, when that's happening I'm going to try and just little sort of movements as possible really. I'm going to move the router body down a little bit, maybe 3-4 mil at a time as it's turning, in nice slow passes as we sort of go through as it turns, and sort of get that nice and start getting that nice and circular. Then once we sort of like I'm comfortable that we're getting the right depth, we can, you know, go down 2, 3, maybe 5 mil at a time. Don't want to take too much out, you know. Obviously, I don't know if anyone's familiar with routering, but little movements are best. You don't sort of want to try and take it all out in one go, because it would just end up in an absolute disaster. Now also the drill I'm going to use, I mean you can sort of put an hand crank on this, but I mean you might have arms like Popeye by the end of it. Now this drill I'm using one that hasn't got an automatic brake in it, so that's the drill that, you know, once you sort of like stop pulling the trigger, the brake comes on. I think if you used to use a drill that done that, I think you just end up absolutely shaking the body out. You know, the motor would be useless, it would just burn out. So also I'm going for something that is like not an all-out screaming machine. Okay, it gets to a nice speed, but it does it slowly. Once this gets going, the momentum behind the actual turning is tremendous. You know, you don't want it would just take off. You know. So with all that said and done, time to actually start implementing it, and I'll show you how I get on in the next video. Oh, also just one more thing before I go. Where I bolted it through the body, I mean, you could use something that's a bit better than this, but I only had copper to hand. I made a few little copper jackets up, and I sort of slid them in between, you know, the bit of MDF, the hole I drilled in the MDF for the bolt to go through, because once that starts going, I'm pretty sure the thread will just start wearing into the actual wood, and it will start getting lower and lower, and that's the last thing you want to do. There we go. We're about halfway there at the moment. A few little things I want to run by with you. When I said about maybe going down to 5 mil, I think that'd be a mistake. I think 2 mil at a time. Yeah, once this takes off, I mean, then I'll start wobbling about, and you can sort of smell the motor starting to burn a touch on the router. So as you sort of see, I come through there, and it started to really catch here. So I've had to just raise it up 2-3 mil and try and get that bit done. Obviously, hand planing it was good. It got rid of a lot of the material, but obviously it didn't get us that close in places that we would have liked. But no, it's going quite well, to be honest with you. And yeah, gonna get another 10 minutes and hopefully crack on with the rest of it. Here we go. That is it turns. Now I'm going to get some quite heavy sandpaper on this, and let's see, turn it again, hold the sandpaper on. I just had a little go on it just a minute ago with that, just going round, trying to keep my fingers really away from the openings really. I don't want to sort of like my finger or my hand to get sucked up into it. Obviously the last thing I want to happen, so make sure, keep that in mind. Obviously look, only sawn timber, but stuff like this. I've got some 2-pack filler, which I'm going to sand it all down first, get it nice, quite nice and smooth. Then I'm going to go over any sort of little bits, like obviously you can sort of see where it's a few little openings up. I mean, I think if I do it next time, or actually I think when I do the arms and the leg, I'm going to use PVA glue, like D4 PVA glue, rather than this D4 expanding glue, and sort of try and compare the differences really. But for sort of sawn timber, wasn't really going to expect anything other than a little bit of opening up. I'll turn that round, see, that's that one that, as you can actually see, there's actually no glue in there whatsoever. So bit of a 2-pack filler on that, and we'll be ready to go. Right, here we go. Now it's for the sanding process. Now as it turns, I've got a bit of, I'm going to start off really heavy with some P40. As it spins, if you come look here, come closer, you can see a bit I've already been working on. It's getting nice and smooth against the bit that we're going to do now. So that's what we're going to do. So if we spin her up, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Come closer, as you can see, not even a minute. Look how smooth that's getting already. There we go. Right, sanded it with 3 different types of sandpaper. First off, I started quite heavy, the P40. Then we went to some 80. Then I went straight to 180, which is super fine, but it's pretty good to be honest. It's really quite smooth. I may go a bit finer than that, I'm not sure, but I don't want to be spending all my money on sandpaper, to be fair. What I've done now is, if you want to come closer, I've got some 2-part wood filler, neutral, fine and light oak it says. That's quite good stuff really. It's like a 2-part, so you've got like the actual filler itself, then you've got an activator, or the hardener. You don't really want to use a lot of hardener, really just a really small, tiny piece, to be honest. Put too much on it and it'll go off in about 5 minutes, and you'll have a big heap of filler going hard on you. So just nice little blob. You'll get there. Mix it all up. You'll get there eventually. Now, if you can see, I've filled a few bits. Probably gone a bit over the top, really, but you know, it is, like I keep saying, it is sawn timber, so it's come out pretty good, to be fair. I think really pleased with it. Whole thing's come to about £80 so far. That is including £20 for the MDF. You probably could bypass that £20 if you can find like a few bits lying about and just sort of make up something of your own, really. And I reckon about another 20 quid for the leg. The offcuts that I had from the main bits of 9x2, they're 4.8s. They're going to make 2 of the arms. Just need to find a little bit of wood to do the centre arm. But you know, I hope I showed you a few good things on how to, or give you some good ideas how to make your own. I mean, up until the turning point where we had the router on top, everything else you could have done by hands, you know. All the cutouts you could do with a handsaw and a chisel. You needed like a few clamps. You could use like a hand plane if you wanted to. It probably would take you about a month of Sundays, but you know, it took quite a long time to do with the electric planer. Now that's all turned, and we'll wait for that to set. Give it a couple of more turns, get it all sanded up, then got to varnish it. There you go, final product. Sand the filler off, give it a coat of acrylic varnish. Dries pretty quickly. Might wait till tomorrow, let your rod get in now, give it a bit of sand down, do it again. As you can see, it's a little on the short side. What I'm going to advise you to do is double check your measurements, which I didn't do. This one I went for was designed to be on like a wall mount, but I'm going to make a stand for it. It's not that short, maybe 4 inches. Get it on a nice stand, get it up to the right height, be perfect. Now in the next video I'll be working on the arms and the legs. So hopefully by that point you should have caught up with me.